And move on with this news that came out of nowhere. And it literally was one day they have a meet, from what I can gather, they have a meeting and they tell the students and the staff that you have, first I heard it was until August. And then it's the end of June, and now it's tomorrow. You on some try and be morally right or whatever. And I'm not saying that morally right stuff that King was talking about. Right. That's different. I'm not talking about that, because ain't no way you putting women and the kids in front of water hoses and police dogs, and they don't give a damn. Excuse me. I'm a teacher, and if I'm not teaching your children, people have a right to come and say, "Hey, look, man, you're not doing what I need you to do for my child." But you have to be involved too, right? So you can't tell me as a parent that you're involved, that you're not doing my child right. I need y'all to correlate this to what's going on around here as well. You can't tell me I'm not doing your child right if you're not involved in the child's life on all levels. The issue that it is now is blatant in everybody's face. Yeah. It's blatant in everybody's face. So we're not sitting there talking about what can we do for residents. We don't care nothing about the residents.
Never about the residents.
It's never about the residents. And the issue that people are having that I see, and they still won't let me come down to the council. When I'm out of school, I'm just going to go. We out of school in a couple weeks. I'm just going to come to one. I don't care.
So, you live too.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, family. My apologies for being 19 minutes late. I swear to God, that before we get up out of here, you're going to see me give you a jumping jacks. I hadn't done it before, so Meek know I've done it. I took some medicine last night because I'm dealing with a sinus infection. When the weather changes happens. So I'm trying to keep it cool. No excuse. That ain't even a good reason. But anyway, this gave us a headache already this morning. So yesterday we go to a Flint First community meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was held at the Flint Public Library, Gloria Close Public Library, yesterday from like 9:30 to 11:30. It didn't run over either. Mm-hmm. And we're both of us are sitting there. And every person that was in the room has a stake in what happens at the city, in the city. Some of them are volunteer groups, some of them, different groups of people, various groups of people, and in various capacities in the city. And they all seem to be desirous of what happens in the future of the city. And that's great. But you can't go and think that you're a major player and major stakeholder when in all actuality you're not. What do I mean? When there are people there that show up, that showed up and came there, and they listen, right? Mm-hmm. Because the only thing that I saw, because I was on the one of the panelists for when they were talking about doing this master plan all of these years ago, which I have to look that up and see if it's still around, and I also need to look up and see if I have a copy of the city charter and get a copy. I know I don't have a copy, but get a copy. And I want to see if I can get a copy or obtain a copy of this master plan that we talked about and that was worked on years ago. And we have to be clear who the major players are in the city. When we had the co-op open, who was the one who donated the most money? Well, the community members.
Yeah, went into
It was my foundation, right?
Yeah.
They donate the most money, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then for what we're seeing going on in the building of the new high school, it's who again?
Oh, your mom.
Okay. And those of us who are community members, longtime community members, and educators and activists and everybody else, two things play a role in how things move in any city. Number one, the politicians, and number two, business. My man. All right, good. Thank you, Mr. Trevor. I appreciate it. So, in not knowing how politics and business make strange bedfellows, you have people who think that they have a stake and a voice, and they do, but they don't. We'll listen to you, but you're really not going to make anything shake and move because you don't have the ear of everybody that you're supposed to be representing.
Facts.
Even as a community member. See, you see where I'm going?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Okay. Even as a community member, and I can say that even about me, right? I don't have everybody in the area that I live at, but I've been there the longest. So kind of know what the hell's going on. Pause, side note. Salty Chef, I need a hat just like Uncle Mick, but it just can't be black. All right? If I don't care, black or red. Any other color, that's great. But send me a hat from up there, man, because I don't know if I'm ever get up there. Yes, I am. I'm not even going to say that. But since you family up there, send me a hat too. You can send it to Uncle Mick and he'll give it to me. Now, pass side note, because that hat is sweet. I like that hat. And that's the football team up there.
For sure.
But how it's the people. And see, here's the thing. So we had a senator there, right? That's the first time I really paid attention or no. And she's a senator. She's a congresswoman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
District 8. Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Okay.
She took Dan Kildee over.
She took Dan. Okay. So now she was there talking and speaking too on behalf of, I guess, state representative or Congress representative, congressional representative.
Yeah.
And that was cool. But if you're the congressional representative, you still in Thailand? Yeah, you bad.
Salty Chef.
You bad, bro. Yeah, I appreciate it. But if you're the congressional representative, and there are people, and of the 518, I think, or 400 and whatever the number is of congressional representatives, and you have to get 218 votes, and you have 9 people that are bipartisan and won't vote to stop some of this insanity that you know is against the Constitution, even though many people are not written in the Constitution. So let's be clear about that too. If these things are unethical and out of order, why are you letting them happen?
Right.
And for those other congressional persons who are allowing it to happen, what are you benefiting from it? Well, you have to, people getting paid. And here's the thing, is we go in and we're glad to sit at the table, but we're not sitting at the table in a position of power and knowledge. We're not sitting at the table understanding who's calling the shots and how are we going to force that dynamic to change? If we're making statements, and one statement was made, and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm glad that they allow me to have a key to something or whatever, and that's fine.
It was regarding to the school board.
Was it a school board?
Yeah,
Okay.
you remember they was like they believed in the school board. They doing a good thing because it was about the cube, and they was like they was able to, they can go to the center over there. They
Okay.
yeah.
Which is what the community school initiative originally was in the 70s.
Right. Didn't know that.
That's how it started. That's the reason why we had community school directors, and they phased them out only because of having a least number of students in order to be able to budget them in, and they just phased them out because it's budget. We got budget issues. Well, that's because your budget goes to this top heavy instead of bottom heavy. Teachers shouldn't, and it shouldn't be 30 years down the line that you're on parity of making this level of money, when if we shape the world the way that you are claiming that we do, then off the rip, I should be able to be making, it shouldn't be, well, I got to step it up, but I got to have this level of education. I got to have this. I mean, man, I don't care a damn if you just coming out of school.
My biggest take from it, H. Brad, good morning. Good morning to all the beautiful people who done tapped in. I'm gonna tell you my biggest take from it is that, and she was up there to talk about. I think it's a play that was being put on the people, brother Elliott.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. And I think the play was put down, and I'm being honest as I can. I'm being honest as I can. To me, the play was put down when. Put me back. Do that. Add me back.
No, you got
to me. Yeah, I just put myself on it. Yeah, I had to come back. To me, the play was put down. They didn't spend money to keep this stuff quiet. Oh my! We got the lovely Deborah Luna came in with her Sunday ties at $5. Thank you, B. Marie. Good morning. My thing was this: I don't think the residents understand they've been paid off. These people that's been coming to them, because it's like, did nobody say that the water was bad there yesterday?
No, of course not.
Did nobody say they was worried about their money, like how much we gonna get? And that's the kicker. And then I don't think people really understood. Only 26, as you listening, 26,000 people was approved.
Right.
Approved.
Right. And then for the children, it's put it in a trust. Right. Not for you to get the money to do anything medically that you might need to do for your children.
Right. And to me, it was like, oh man, I was so disappointed in that meeting yesterday, man. Cause it's like they giving the people again false hope.
So, but that's where, if you become knowledgeable, hope means nothing.
Right.
If you're knowledgeable about what's going on, hope, I don't have to have hope, because I'm gonna force your hand on it. This is the reason why I asked the question that I asked. Whether I apply for or not, or apply for a claim or not, I've been in that residence for 67 years. Or 60-something, 50-something years, whatever, how old, 62 years, right? 60, 58. Okay. Damn, I forgot how old I was.
I'm glad you answered it. You asked that, though, because it was like the whole deal was wrong. To me, she should have said, no, we need to go back to the drawing table.
Right. Right. And start all over again, and not just for people who made claims. And then if your children are affected, you don't have the monies in order to be able to get the treatment necessary in order to help your children out. And I'm seeing the effects of of whatever happened with those children in the school right now.
Right.
And there's some other things, but you can also see that too.
Facts. And
as a budding conspiracy theorist, I was like, no. But I've seen young people that have eaten the lead, but I've also seen or have had lead, ingested lead, but I've also seen the cure that take place when they had the monies available in order to go get the cure too. So how the hell are you gonna hold this money in trust for a child that may have been affected by this situation? And you're gonna hold it in the trust until when? And then by the time they have access to it, it may be too late because they'll be damn near adults.
And they got to refile when they're adults because you can't do it as a kid, right?
I was under the impression it was a one-time deal.
Wow.
That's my impression, though. I could be wrong. I don't think it's perpetuous.
Yeah, but to me, it's like, and then to me, I just saw a whole bunch of people trying to get in to make money because, like, how they saying they gonna need help, right? This is what the Congresswoman said, District 8 Congresswoman said. Like, you know, you heard the school board president jumping in. Well, we know the students this and that. We'll be able to send these out. Are y'all gonna get paid to do that? Good morning, new one. Thank you for tapping in. That's what it was to me. It was like, to me, it just I feel like more community should have been there.
But here's the other thing. How do we find out?
On here in the chat.
Right. So how many people are listening to know?
Facts.
Okay. How many people are going back looking at this later on to know? So later on, like today, when I look at the numbers or if I watch through it tonight to make sure that our information is on point and just to review it,
right,
I may only see 150, 200 views. Maybe. I think one time on Tuesday, we had over 300 views.
Mm-hmm.
So if you only get 100 and some people that are watching it throughout the course of the day or week or whatever until the next time,
mm-hmm.
How many people? Because we knew because of the chat. So what did we say? Hey, we gonna jump on there.
Yeah,
and now
I gotta give a shot. It was B. Marie that was in the chat. Told us we need to come there.
Okay, and we appreciate that.
Right.
So any of the other types of meetings like that, we need to know.
Yeah, because we need to be there.
Because we need to be there. And I don't care about we having Christmas parties and all that. Don't that. Who cares? I'm still not clear that we still have a homeless situation.
Oh,
I'm still not clear that we have children who don't eat. I'm looking at the school breakfast and lunch. It's absolute trash. Put that one back up on me real quick.
Which one? Shardy Shard?
Yeah.
I got you. And Kobe Fatty, thank you for tapping in. I'm going to get to you, new one. I'm going to put that up. But you know what I did love, Brother Elliott? One lady came in there and did say this. She said, I'm here because I heard this where the movers and shakers be at.
Right. And that was an older white lady with the black glasses on. Right.
Oh, I love when she put, and I like how my man tried to laugh it off.
Right.
I was like, okay, I get it. But I do feel like our community need to be more at these type of meetings.
No, for sure. I mean, I want to know when the next one is. So whoever is on point, we're gonna be there. And every time they bring somebody in there, they get in the court. They might get a little hand grenade. It might be a M80, yep. And then eventually it's gonna be a howitzer once I understand how this goes. Because I've been reading one of my teachers again.
What up, cuz? I got, you know what I'm going to do, brother? We're going to get some interviews on the next one because I didn't bring my wuss in that because I was rushing. I'm going to have that where we're going to be able to sit back and get some of these interviews with these people when we be at these wuss and that. Oh, you see what B. Marie just put it in here?
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Hey, B. Marie, can you please remind us?
Yeah, because.
Can you just remind us?
Right.
And we'll be there. Just please remind us.
Yeah.
Just remind us and we'll be there.
Okay. Every first Saturday of the month. All right. But I mean, and it's like, and she was absolutely right because you can see at the table at the meeting the makeup of what the same group of people that 20-something years ago sat down and were talking about this master plan.
Hold on, I had something for you. I wanted you to read because this was here it go. Here it go right here. You see it, Jay?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I took from it.
But now, that's true, and that's fine. But then, what about the accountability to be there and showing what you do.
Facts.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we had an opportunity to introduce you, and then everybody got real quiet.
Yeah.
And I didn't say typically what I would have said. I just kept it short and sweet and brief. But when you said you're an independent news agency, the room got a little bit cold, about 3 degrees colder.
Oh yeah, it did. I told Judy was there.
Yeah.
It was the school president was there. Dylan Luna was. I said, man, everybody we didn't talked about was here.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Was it right?
Yeah.
And when I walked in, Dylan acted like I was his long lost puppy. Hey man, I ain't seen you. How you doing? I ain't seen you in a long time. I'm sorry. Let me stop. So no, the opposition. You're absolutely right.
For sure.
Because that as I'm beginning to really read political primers from my teachers, Dr. Harold Cruz, Brother Malcolm, and who were talking about not entertainers and cool people, and I'm not cool with you. There's one person as a business owner, but he's a business owner. You're absolutely. Wait a minute. Who was that said that? I don't.
Shot.
Okay. Yeah, you remember those meetings? And they could a group of people that came from New York, from a little Jewish community town that they made up, and that they lived in, and how they put their stuff together. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I gotta put this up because it was so much that expired at that meeting in that little short. It was nice though. Mm-hmm. New one, I saw that too.
Yeah.
When Judy threw Davina up under the bus for them speaker slips. And I gotta put this out here to y'all, family, if I won't forget it. They had no law with Davina, and the 7th Ward councilwoman was only putting 5 slips out there. Let me say that. And shout out to the individual that asked that question, because Davina called in.
But did they put out 5 slips?
Yeah.
Because different people were asking questions, and they wanted to try and get their voices heard, or were they also? And this is both and, because I've just answered the question. Or are you trying to limit the amount of questions that you're being asked, so that people couldn't ask you many hard-hitting questions?
No, I'm gonna tell you what it was. I like say you don't say the council might start at 4:30, but you can't get there to 5 or something. Oh, you might be running late. They didn't want people who might be getting off their job that will ask the tough questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example, and I'm just using this as an example. This might not be true or not. Just say when people might have been coming up there for Liddell might. You know what I'm saying? No, these people might be coming, getting off work. Because that Flint is small. Everybody know everybody. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? In order for them, and that's what Davina was like on the phone, do Scott's honor. She don't want, because some people had jobs they can't get there. And Davina was taking the slips early. She was taking the box early. So they had been really trying to quiet the residents from even speaking. You know what I'm saying? That's what they've been doing. This council, up under the leadership of Ali Hokenroder, to transfer to Liddell and Candace, has been one of the most egregious. When I say they want to silence the people, them are the people. But they don't want that. The Venus yesterday said Stanley Wood, she don't want that did no more.
Right.
They don't want people filling out of somebody running late. Oh, she did throw the council leadership under the bus. Yes, Judy did, but Judy was in on that.
And then who was the other lady that was sitting on her end across from us, who supposed to represent
Tommy from the mayor's office.
Mayor's office.
Yep.
She sure was on defense of that situation.
Heck yeah. Tommy was finna play because Judy threw it out there broadly.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to understand. You guys signed up
to testify. Testify against who?
Right.
Yeah, Yogi, I don't get that one.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit more clear about that question, baby.
Yeah, Judy did though, man. Judy through the council and the mayor. I like how Tommy like it'll be a problem if y'all lying.
Right. So can you pull up that clip of Malcolm real quick?
I got you right here.
I just want y'all to listen to this, and this is what we're not doing anymore.
Facts. Hold on, let me get this together.
Wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is the only thing that will bring an end to it. No federal court, state court, or city court will bring an end to it. It's something that the black man has to bring an end to himself. When black people wake up,
You back line.
Okay. But as I get that I have a problem with us just being happy to sit at the table. Okay. It is absolutely asinine to be, well, as long as I'm sitting at the table, I can talk and that's good. No, that's not enough. Real true education.
Okay, so yep.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Real true education is about being able to see a problem, going to get the education about the problem and the information about the problem, and bringing back a resolution to the problem. Then when we start talking about, oh, I'm just so glad I got it, and it's cool, and I'm not knocking it. But if where are the resources that in the cube or in wherever that you can say as a community, we can go get these resources and learn to do something with them. Dr. Harold Cruz wrote 2 books, Crisis of the Negro Intellectual, which we can see when people start hooping and hollering, screaming and shouting about, we happy to be at the table. And another one is called Plural but Unequal. Crisis of the Negro Intellectual, he wrote in 1967. He was very critical about every movement from the beginning up until the 60s when he wrote that book. And then Plural but Unequal is about being able to, the rights that we so-called have as people in this country, unless you're considered a indigenous savage or three-fifths of a human, which means you're not part of the Constitution. And you're still not considered to be part of the Constitution. Even after the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment was written, granted, and made amendments, how are you still getting treated like shit? And that's okay. Educationally. So at what point in time are we teaching and I'm included, are we teaching, because let me tell you what I did. I did a science experiment. I used some junk food in order to teach young people about DNA, and it was cool, right? Principal loved it, whatever. But guess what the next step was? The next step was, now you get a chance to go and find out about a birth defect and which chromosome it affects. And then I want you to be able to use technology and find a way to solve it. That's solving a problem. May not be able to do it, but it's a plant something in somebody's head.
Facts.
Okay. Education about, we have this problem. How do we solve it? And we have young people that don't want that drop out of school at a rate of 7,000 a day. How do we resolve that? Oh, it's the school. No, the fuck it's not. Don't blame the building. If you walk around the house and the heat go out, you have to find a way to stay warm until you're able to get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
That might mean that you have to call a heating and cooling specialist to get in there, but you may not have the money. So what do you do up until then? Well, there's different ways in order for you to still heat your house up on pennies until you're able to get that together, till you get the monies together.
Right.
And we're constantly making excuses for that. We go, I'm just so happy to be at the seat. I'm just happy. No, I'm sorry, y'all. Well, why? Why are we happy to sit at the seat and not happy enough to be able to make no shakes and moves? Because we don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I agree with you. I mean, but they know that.
And they're very clear about that.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't care nothing about sitting at your seat. I'll make my own seat. I'm glad we went to the meeting because we get to see the paupers in the play.
Facts.
The big dog in the whole room is Mott. So you're going to conform to what they say or they'll pull the money. You don't have the co-op open. This been 12 years running unless Mott gives you the money to open it up.
Right.
And then whatever money the council gave. Not knocking it. But you wasn't even here to see. You came here for the opening as the person who so-called started or whatever. Then you left, and you come here for the opening like you did something. There's no way you should be able to sit up there and people shaking your hands and congratulations or whatever when you was gone for the last few years because you retired and left and instead of being there, putting the grind in and put the work in.
Good morning, C. Wish. Technically, he was on vacation.
For a long ass time.
Yeah. That's true there, but he said he was on vacation.
Okay. Bro, he's been gone for years.
I know that. I mean, we was all shocked. I'm just telling you, when he did the interview on here, and that's what he came up with. He was on vacation.
That's the lie he told people.
It sure did. Said he was on vacation. I agree, new one.
See, new one. Don't stop playing.
But I don't think we got them the type of spooks we got here. We got some straight up jigaboos.
Man,
in my humble opinion.
There ain't no humble opinion. That's the truth. Because the spook who sits by the door will sit there and gather intelligence and information, take it back to their community, change and alter their community. And well, you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one. And then go back and change their community with the information that they have and come back. And then so therefore the community, that's the reason why Sam Greenlee was ostracized, because he wrote that book and made that movie. And he ain't do nothing else. He died broke and penniless. And people had to contribute in order to bury him when he died in 2014.
And I was one of them.
That's horrible. This America, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This America.
It rears ugly head if you try to go against their system.
Man. And that's what happened.
No, I agree with you, new one. I'm not saying, I'm just saying like the ones we see, because like I didn't feel like she got called to task.
It wasn't, that meeting wasn't for that.
Right, right. Like the ones who did, like I say, my mother Claire McClinton did call her about that, and you put her on task. But everything else, it was just like they was trying to, like, to me, it was like, how we gonna get in the bed to get some money for we can let the people know? Like, it should have been an outcry. Only 26,000 people are being approved for this phase.
Right. And how many phases you gonna have?
I don't know.
Probably just one.
Right. But it was over 100,000 people got poisoned.
Well, but like I told her, I said, instead of you sitting around there doing that, even if I didn't, your census showed that I'm a resident.
Facts.
So therefore, if I want something, then I should be able to get it without having to go through this claiming phase.
Right. But they're not there to help the people.
No. That was all a show that, we need your assistance and your voice in making this stop. But we're making what stop?
Right, because the water's still poison.
The water's still poison. and the number of people, and now you're saying that the young people who might have been affected are only going to get a stipend that's going to put in a trust, and that's not going to help them,
Right.
and it's not going to help change anything. And then you're really not clearly showing, and then people that are supposedly working on the that's right, those people that are supposed to be working on this situation to clear the pipes and all this other stuff, where they at, and how many of them look like us? None.
Right. See, that's why I say this whole rollout thing was diabolical. And I look at it like this because this was a predominantly black city.
Right.
That's why I feel like the other, everybody got jammed up because it was a predominantly black city. They didn't care.
Well, they didn't care about Jackson, Mississippi either when that happened.
Oh, most definitely. Predominantly black, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then the place in Ohio that happen, and then another place in
Palestine,
New Orleans.
when that Palestine.
Yeah, and then another place in New Orleans that happened to.
But see, we're talking about government again.
Okay.
Government, but to me, it was like they just coming down here having these meetings, want to tell the people. They not telling y'all. See, this money ain't finna change the way people living. They think they finna really get some real money.
No, you probably get about $3,000 or $4,000 out of that pool, if that.
And it's like, and it's crazy. And I didn't like how she made it political. I'm gonna be honest. When she went to saying, the Republicans, and I'm a Democrat. I'm not even a Republican. I'll put my face up here. I'll make a stand on business. I'm not a Republican. I'm a Democrat. That's the way I voted. But to say you're gonna put this on Trump, why when Biden was in office, why he didn't do nothing about the Flint water? That's a Democrat.
Right.
Why Obama couldn't straighten it out when he was up in here? That was a Democrat. You see how they like to kick the ball?
Oh, well, this is, of course, it's kickball. Well, and okay, hold on. There's one of them up here. To the dreamer, right? You said most of the children that was 3 or 5 that were affected by are now young adults. It wasn't the city that dropped the ball. It was your governor. The governor dropped the ball because he knew what was going on, and he put that information and slid that information to the side. And then he wasn't convicted, but yet the black persons that were here in the city were convicted and all kind of other stuff done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so it wasn't the city that dropped the ball. The ball was dropped on the city.
Oh yeah, and they just right. I agree with you on that. And they just putting it. See, the mayor of them, and you seeing these people. The governor got them coming out here being their mouthpieces right now, because they couldn't tell you. I mean, a special master. We got to call a special master. To me, they just steady saying, "Oh, the money coming. It's finna be coming." Like right. Claire McClinton, Mama Claire McClinton called her out. She's like, "Well, you said the money was coming out in November. Well, it was, but we in December.
Right.
That was a lie.
Right.
But see, these are the people they want you to go ahead and vote for that's not fighting for you.
Right. Over and over and over again.
It's crazy.
Over and over.
Crazy.
But, and I agree, B. Marie, you have to disrupt the pattern, but you also have to be knowledgeable in the first place in order to be able to make an informed decision, which is what Brother Malcolm was saying, which is what we're talking about now. As being informed.
Facts.
And if you are not informed, how are you going to process that information without being emotional? And that's what people like to do. Well, I'm just so happy to sit at the table. I'll flip the damn table over.
Yeah, because it shouldn't be. She should have been called to task.
Right.
And I liked how
Snyder's the only one that should have been. Whitmer just was handed this situation. Snyder was the one that was involved. And that's the reason why he didn't run for another term. But my fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but they could have did, in my humble opinion, they could have handled this whole situation better.
But they don't care.
So don't. No,
they don't. It's not just see, the Constitution doesn't govern. It's only what we can have to go back. and stop acting like that this piece of paper covers everybody.
Facts.
It doesn't. It didn't when it was written. It doesn't now.
Right.
Same rules apply.
Just different year.
It's just a different year. If you're a rich white male landowner, you call the shots.
Oh no, Snyder was term limited, brother.
Was it term? Okay, good. Okay. Thank you.
But
he still should have been convicted because he had the paperwork on his desk saying that there was something wrong with the process, and he didn't do anything about it. And then he dropped the ball on the city and the city officials that he put in place.
But look who dropped the ball when she could have had it right. Remember when they brought in Tide Flood? Remember they ruled is illegal one-man jury?
Right.
But they was doing it to everybody else, though.
Everybody else.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like they came in, the system gonna help its own.
Once again, rich white landowners who drafted and ratified the Constitution didn't include those indigenous savage races and those we consider 3/5 subhuman. It's in the Constitution, the original handwritten copy.
Yeah, they wouldn't have to ratify it on
so,
certain things.
Right, because then why would you have to add the suffrage as an amendment? And why would you have to add the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment as addendums if you already was including everybody in the process? Because you weren't.
Yeah, and they have to be honest with it. I mean, it's like I was saying, like just sitting there. To me, I couldn't believe, and I voted for Rivet because I voted for Democrat.
She's a politician,
right? And it was like just to hear. To me, it was like I took it like I was like I already know. It was like some of the questions, like how she was answering. Remember, I was like, that's kind of condescending.
Right?
Okay. It was like, damn, that's how you feel. But when you had people coming out to vote for you.
But once again, if people are voting on emotion
and
not knowledge, so you can be condescending if you are sure that people are only voting because you look like somebody's mom.
And like that meant something.
Like that means something.
Yeah, and the people suffering here, people dying.
And to the dreamer, I agree. Plots of land, houses, whatever. Because don't let me get some money. Oh, we buying all of that. Oh, we buying this, we buying everything. And then what?
You need infrastructure.
Right.
But see, that's why I be so frustrated. Like when you see a lot of stuff that's going on, it's like we got to get better people that's going to be representing the residents of Flint. You can't go get people. Here we
go with the campaign.
No, you have to.
No, it's not an afterthought. We didn't forget. We didn't forget. But we just have to stop playing and stop being comfortable and okay with a seat at the table and say, what are we here for? What is the point and purpose of these meetings? And I don't care about you money grabbing.
Facts.
But what are you here for? What was the point of the meeting yesterday? It was that to inform the Flint community, those persons that came out, that we're doing something, because the school board president was highly touting what they were going to do moving forward for next year.
Man.
When groundbreaking was going to take place over in the Central Whittier area.
And she's a viper too. Let me get on that. There wasn't nothing but some jackals. Did you see how she threw the current school boards up under the bus?
Every single one. We're the most progressive. No, you're not.
She was a part of the madness when the prior to. She act like she forgot she went behind Clack when she was the vice president and signed the contract for the superintendent. No, Miss President of the school board, that was up under your ass. You did that. She forgot what she did to the prior superintendent. She forgot how she was on there beefing. Look, she's been her and Laura has been one of the biggest two manipulators on that school board, running that amok, and had the nerve to say we all on the same page. Really?
No, well, they on the same page as far as what they can get out of it.
Yes. But look at this. Oh my God. Y'all just don't know. Joyce Ellis McNeil, the president of the school board. They when I say they scrapped the bottom of the barrel and got these politicians and people on these school board, they didn't get the cream of the top. Let me tell you that now.
And I don't know who she is. Now she must not live over where I live at. To even come and talk to somebody about being and I haven't been to a school board meeting forever.
I knew facts. Facts.
Right. And see, now we talking. What did I just say though? What I said at the beginning of the show, that if you really want to get be educated,
mm-hmm.
What problems do we have to solve? And then you go to school, you get your own background information based upon that. And then from there, you go to school to get additional information to come back and resolve the problem. And then therefore you create a job. So like even now, I have my students talking about pollution. The whole point of the exercise is to plant a seed because they're young. But now if one of them or all of them go like, well, I think that this is an injustice, because the next level of study and research is those things those disasters that happen to people like the Love Canal, right? That we're going to get there. And 3 Mile Island, and we're going to get there. And Chernobyl, and we're going to get there. Even though Chernobyl's over in Russia, we're going to get there, because I want to plant the seeds that you have to be the ones that are coming up. You can't, there are no jobs here. Make a job.
Facts.
That's what real education is. That you study something, and if it triggers something in you later on, because the seed has been planted. So, there's a couple of young kids in Florida that take these boats, and they go out and they scoop up all of the trash that the cruise ships dump in the ocean. And they do the same thing along the beaches. So they're literally collecting tons and tons and tons of trash every single day in order to be able to.
They created a job.
But nobody's telling the cruise ship, hey, man, put that stuff in a container. The food you can throw in the ocean because the animals can eat it. That's not a problem. But your plastic stuff and everything else, throw that in the ocean. I mean, don't throw that in the ocean. Put it in a container. And when you come back, we can recycle it or whatever. There was one point in time where they were talking about taking, and this was a NASA deal years ago, taking materials and put it on a rocket and shoot it towards the sun. Once it gets into outer space, it ain't gonna matter, because as long as it's pointing towards the sun, it'll eventually burn up. That's nuclear materials too. But instead, what do? It's cheaper and easier just to dump the stuff in the ground and put dirt over the top of it to call it a landfill. And that's how people, and it's near where somebody lives at. Or they so-called line the soil with lead and other stuff, concrete, lead, all these other materials, dump that toxic materials in there, and eventually that stuff breaks down. Maybe 1,000 years from now, but it's not our problem 1,000 years later. But it'll be cheaper, especially with all of these space agencies that you got popping up all over the place that are supposedly flying things out of space. Just shoot that shit to the sun.
You know what they did? Created a job.
They created a job.
That's what they do. They create, whether we like it or not. That's what you're gonna have to do right now.
Right.
That's what you're gonna have to do. I mean, I'm not saying don't go work a job, but you better have a side hustle, a legal one.
Right. Yeah, that
Let me
illegal
say
side
that, yeah.
hustle stuff, to stop
Yeah,
doing that
no,
shit.
legal.
That's dumb.
Because that's throwing bricks at the penitentiary.
Right. Man, you're actually paving your road to the penitentiary.
Facts. And they want you to do that.
Right.
And B. Marie, I heard that I heard that. See, at the last meeting, Joy said that the school had to pause the renovation of the high school due to low enrollment, but now there's a sudden change. Okay. See,
Yeah, but how do you get a sudden change? That means you have to put all the charter schools out of business, which you shouldn't have let them be in the city in the first place.
Flint, and that story, that lie that was told, is 2,000 students. I don't believe it's 2,000 students in the city of Flint, in the Flint school system.
No, because you got 400 or 500 or whatever over at New Standard.
That's what I'm saying. I don't believe it. I believe it's more like maybe 18, probably between 15 and 18. Yeah. And then they saying how they gonna get kids to come back. Look at your leadership, and that'll tell you if kids gonna come back.
And if you're going to have this place to be what you claim it's going to be, high technology, high this, that, the other, you got to make sure certain bullshit don't be in there too.
Facts.
If you can't come in and say, this is how we're going to operate, and if you don't operate this way, your ass gone. And you got to make sure everybody's on board. Hey, we're requiring you to study. If you can't study, you don't belong here. And you have to be able to do that. And I agree. Hey. The trade, yeah, absolutely.
I gotta put
have
this
to be pushed.
Let me get the dealer up. Yeah, no, facts. Facts. I agree with you, new one.
No, and I'm not in disagreement of that as well, because at one time, what do they call it? CID. Yeah. Well, we went over there for the trades, and you did cars and all that other stuff. We used to have that. But the other part about that is even having somebody to learn how to do stuff in your own home. My dad taught me how to sweat copper. The only thing I don't do is plug nothing into the junction box. I run wires. I got toilets I'm putting in my house. I have one of my nephews who does really good with doing the composite floors, do 2 bathroom floors, but I'm doing the rest. See, there you go.
But you know they can lie with numbers.
Yeah, well, yeah, but see, numbers are the ones you always can manipulate.
Yeah, because I'm just telling you, can look. Have you seen any of these well, we only got one high school as far as Flint school, right? It's Flint Central. I mean, that's Southwestern, right?
Right.
And then where's the other elementaries? Ain't none of them parking lots be full.
No, ain't none of them, because they all closed.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm trying to see what the innovation that. You got one school board member, her kids go to school out of Flint, so that tell you how do you think she gonna be trying to improve the school board when you don't trust the school board enough that your kids don't go to none of the Flint schools?
And you're a school board member, so you shouldn't even be on the board. You shouldn't be on the board. Unless your children have graduated and are out of over age.
Yeah, that I know. But if your kids in school, I mean, from elementary, from K through 12, let me just sum it up. From K through 12, if your kids are not going to the district, you should not be on the board.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, except for public. Yeah, when they do the count day, man, should bring everybody in. You see people you ain't never seen doing count day.
Listen, I teach at, it's the same thing. You say, oh, well, who is this? We had a student that left the district, turned around and messed up, or something happened where he was at, and they brought him, and parents brought him back. Well, why you leave him? Now, there's a process where the district he came from has got to send the money back. But I had another student talking about they went to go to another school or whatever, and they want to talk about school choice and no, there is no school choice.
Right. You in Flint, you staying in
You
Flint.
gotta stay in Flint.
I get it. But see, the only thing that's a catch-22, look what the Flint schools is offering. They're not offering none of what the other schools is offering on the outskirts.
So-
That's what's terrible.
Right. So why would you, if you're gonna build a state of the art school, and it's gonna have everything in it, because you might have children, young people that come in and they want to do carpentry, they want to do electrical.
Mhm.
Let them have it available for them.
But who set this for the schools?
Huh?
Who set that? What curriculum's going to be in there?
The state does.
Okay.
State sets the curriculum, and from there, business and politicians tell the state what they're going to teach, what we're going to teach. I just happen to be crazy enough to add some other shit in there.
No, I'm saying like far as how can Grand Blanco, Kyman, them have tool and die? Oh, you know what I'm saying? But Southwestern ain't got home ec or tool and die in their school. How these other schools, or like wood shop, how the schools on the outskirts had them in the schools, like the Flint schools don't have them?
Because that's what they want to have. You see, you have places that want to be leaders and other places that want them to be workers. So if you're not doing any thinking, then guess what your job is? You don't work.
So who set that up though for the schools? Now that's what I've been trying to figure out.
No, that's the district sets that up, regardless of what the curriculum is.
Okay.
The district sets that up. This is how we're going to operate. So if this is wanted to be a place where everybody plays sports at, then this is it.
See, I'm with you, Shadi Shard. I wonder if it's possible for them to place all those programs at Flint Southwestern Academy until they move into the new school. And I see what you're saying, Trevor. Trevor saying that's easy, Mick, because the outskirts school boards don't piss away money like toilet paper.
Right.
So that goes back to y'all helping me out with the school board.
So, but you also have to remember some of the monies come from the state, some of them come from federal, but they also come from property tax.
In the lottery, allegedly.
In the lottery, but we did locally. You're not gonna see that much.
Facts. But why they ain't getting none from the weed dispensaries then? You got all these weed dispensaries in Flint. Why you can't ask them these stores?
You should tax them. That's what they do in Colorado.
All these stores that's up in here, y'all got these stores. Who own all these stores? They not owned by us.
No, at all.
Why they
None
not?
of them, but one.
Right.
One.
But why they not paying tax? Why they not helping out funding stuff in them neighborhoods? You getting money from the area.
People are not forcing that to happen. You can go to Colorado, okay, and Job Corps still offer trades. Yes, ma'am. You can go to Colorado. They tax weed at 25%. You know where that money goes? Directly to the schools, not through a whole bunch of people's pockets. Some people gonna skim because that's what politics and all that stuff is. But for the most part, it goes to the schools. In Toronto, directly to the schools.
But they don't trust them here. They're already stealing. Can you imagine giving the money directly to these crooks?
Oh, well, I'm gonna say it again. We don't mind if you take a little butter off the top of it. First spread the rest on the bread.
But they don't want to spread it here.
Right. But that's lack of accountability.
Facts.
So once again, if you have somebody who is part of the financial budget management and they go, okay, well, we collected from $7 million from all the weed stores here, and then you turn around and okay, well, one is missing. We don't care about the ones as long as the 6 get to the schools. We ain't tripping about the one. But don't let we only collected 100,000, but 6.9 is in my pocket.
Yeah, nah, that's just disrespectful. Nah, I remember that too, B. Marie, when they had to go over there and fight GSID about when they taking the money from the Flint schools. Yeah, nah. But what we focus. See, we just think our area like they only mess the money up. But see, other areas too, they're more affluent.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So they have a little more leeway on certain things they do. I'm not saying I agree with it, but you would think with us having these so-called people that's really doing the work, I don't see no work being done. Just like New One said, she want to see how they're gonna improve the reading level in the Flint school
Yeah,
system.
right. There's only two ways you improve
What's
the
up,
reading
Meek Freak?
level.
Yeah.
The one way you improve the reading level is you have to make sure as a parent, when you have a child, that child comes in knowing basic shit. Not knowing how to book. I got a little kid and I love him. He can't read, but he always want a book. And when he does what I need him to do, here, take this book, bring it back tomorrow. He'll go and the books messed up. He'll not do his classwork to go and get to come and straighten the books up. And that's a beautiful thing to me. But he got to learn how to read before he come in there. He loves the fact that there's books and he get one from Mr. McCants. But he can't read. And he's in the second grade. That means his role, unless something happens, is going to lead to some failure. And I'm not trying to predict it. I don't even like the fact that I'm saying it. But he shouldn't be coming into school not being able to read.
But that starts at home.
And that's what I'm saying. So at 6 years old, he should be able to know his numbers, know his letters, all of these other things, and he doesn't. So then when we get on them about learning how to read, because we see that then it becomes this emotional battle between this little kid who wants to whine and cry because you being on his ass about learning. And damn, what the hell you been doing with him for the last 5-6 years since you had him?
Facts.
You can't mold Play-Doh and there's no mold and there's no Play-Doh.
Facts. I agree. I mean, because just think about it. We had grandparents who couldn't read, but they made sure their kids could read.
And that's the sacrifice.
And it's like, it's like we going backwards.
Yeah.
There's no way where kids shouldn't know how to read.
Not know how to read.
You
not know their
saying?
numbers.
Right.
Not know their phone number. Not know their address.
It's like,
and then oh, well, you're the one, it's your job to teach. No, I'm not. No, it's not. I'm going to do my part. But it's your job to teach them and give them the basics. And if you don't know, then you should have had a child in the first place. Should have been doing things to have the child if you weren't prepared to take up the mantle to say, I got to sacrifice part of my life in order to make my child's life better.
Facts.
That's what our grandparents did. I didn't know my dad was going to school. I thought he was taking college courses. He was going to night school to get his high school diploma. This is one of the smartest men I know. He made me, damn, you in school? I really got to get up.
See this, what I put on the screen?
Yeah. Listen, what I said a couple weeks ago or last week, even military text written at third grade level. Now I was told that by one of my students who's writing a book. And when her book come out, y'all got to get it because it's pretty dope. Yeah, but how much work did you all put in? Right, and she's 3, and you all put the work in order to make it happen. So she got a leg up already.
No, it's
he or she.
Yeah, it's putting in time, man.
You got to put that time in. Your life, once you have a child, your life alters and adjusts.
Facts. It's not about you no more.
It is not about you. It's about that child.
Yeah.
And so therefore, when we build this great big high school, and you're talking about it's going to be state of the art, and I'm very clear that technologically they got this stuff. They got this. But at the same time, they don't have book sense. They don't have other sense that's absolutely necessary, because if you put it in a book, they can't go read it.
It's like we just going back in time. You know, kids can't write in cursive.
No.
But I
make
bet you
mine
that's
write
just.
them in cursive.
I bet you that's just in our generation. I mean, that's in our area though. I don't think they doing that. They doing that in Grand Blanc. They're not writing in cursive. They doing
I think
that.
that's across the board.
Oh, they took cursive all the way. Oh, wow, that's terrible.
But here's the deal: if you have to sign a document, it's illegal if you don't sign it.
See, that shouldn't have been able to go across the board, but that no child left behind.
Yeah, that
set
was the
a
worst
dangerous
policy.
President. Man.
That was the worst policy anybody that could have come up with. And what do they continue to do? Instead of turning that over, they continue to follow it.
Mm-hmm. Because they got you saw the people run the jails was that Congress was talking about, hey,
but we ain't getting enough prisoners because these guys are getting too smart. They on the game now. They're up to the game. They figured out what we doing. So we gotta find a way for you all. You all have to find a way in order to fail them, so we can fill our jails back up to make our money. And it's actually happened.
Man, listen, when you saw that, they not building these jails for nothing. That's just like what they built that juvenile thing here. They won't listen.
Fill them up,
right?
Fill them up. And where's that? It's on Pasadena, which is near where?
And it's right down the street off
on Pasadena.
Pasadena, and what's that street right there? It's before Linden Road.
Right, Mill. Near Mill.
Yeah, it's the side street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you go in there, what do you see? And it should be empty.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why it's full is because people don't give a damn about their children.
Right.
I know.
Jenny's, that's the road.
Jenny's. Yes,
I couldn't think of
that. Yeah. And I'm not saying that children don't do some stupid stuff, but the social influence on the outside world is really that, a social influence.
Fact.
And it shouldn't be. But it is. And why do we allow that stuff to run our lives? Right. So then when we talk about children can't have their cell phones at school, parents want to complain. Who the fuck you calling?
They shouldn't be able to use them. Only reason I say have them like that one girl who was coming home. I was at school when they was talking about it. Some guys tried to grab her.
I get that.
And she didn't have her phone, so the dad couldn't get to her, and they had, she's running. On that aspect, I do feel like, but they can have some things going on in school, like you had a blocker in the school for the phone blockers. If your school updated, the other schools do it. You can do that. See, it's things that they can do, but we don't have forward-thinking school board members.
Nope.
We don't have a forward-thinking superintendent. You know what I'm saying? We doing stuff like that. We don't have that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're gonna keep running into our situation
all the time. So we're gonna give y'all about 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna let y'all finish brewing y'all coffee. And Brother Stanley Woods, you're absolutely right. It is both parents. It's not one parent. And I'm going to say this, ladies and gentlemen, if you lay down with a person and create a life, you have to be involved until forever. There's no time off. There's no time off. They know, I'm going to have a child and then set them in front of TV. No. There's an African proverb that says, if the village doesn't teach the child will return to burn down the village. And that's what we having.
Facts. And it's like we don't see it.
No, we don't want to see it.
Right.
Because we want to go get the bag and go do this and fly to Dubai, like that means any fucking thing. Man, we want to fly to Dubai to say we did it, and we want to teach our children to do all these other wild and out of order things, and this and that and other, and live off of them and they want to all be entertainers and sports persons and all this other stuff. We want to make our living off our children and everything else, not their job.
But see, they so used to doing it.
Yeah, because that's been a precedent set.
Yeah.
My mom sacrificed and my dad wasn't there or whatever. But why was it? Most of the time, most dads ain't there because they cut out of the child's life by the other parent.
But see, that's
a whole nother story.
Facts.
That's a whole nother show. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just gotta ask you, how did you take from the meeting yesterday? Because we was there from start to finish.
I was there from start to finish.
Thank you, Stanley Wood, with the $5 super chat for Sunday, Super Sunday. Thank you. What did you take from it?
I thought it was fluff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that there was really nothing there that they talked about that was worth anything. I thought people were making introductions about certain stuff and not really saying anything of substance.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely more people that there were more people that should have been there that looked like the community, and there wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it was a feel good meeting instead of a working meeting.
Mm.
You know, like this is what we've done as this so-called Flint Community Coalition, and we want your input about what you think we've done and how you can assist. And there was none of that.
Mm.
Right. See?
No, I grew up like that too, Woodster.
That's right.
So I understand it. I didn't grow up with both parents in the
Right.
same household. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
And so and I'm not saying that there are not going to be other influences,
Mm-hmm.
but if both people are involved,
Mm-hmm.
whether they are not, the influences are less, and the influence is lessened when both parents are there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my son, I raised my son. I know he's out there trying to do, but I told him I got too many eyes and ears out here for you to do anything
Facts.
major that it won't get back to me.
Facts.
You know, if it was something major, I get a phone call for you did it.
Oh, for sure.
He did some stupid stuff one time with one of his boys. The person who called him was my student, was one of my former students. He called me directly. Hey, Pop, such and such, blah, blah, blah. This your boy? Yeah. I said, get in his ass. And he did. He ain't do it no more. Now he do some other dumb stuff. But as long as you don't continue to do the same stupid thing over and over and over again, then you're going to get a different result. And that one time, and then when he found out I knew the judge, he was looking at me like, damn, Dad, you know everybody. Hell yeah, don't play. But the other part about that is really teaching our children, hey, look, we can't operate that way. That means you have to be knowledgeable. Facts. We go to these meetings, be knowledgeable.
Facts.
Don't just be happy to sit at the table.
Facts.
Bring your own damn table.
No, you're right. That's what I say. Like, if I gotta go to your table and you're gonna give me crumbs, I'd rather create my own. That's just how I am. And then if I gotta kiss your butt, you know.
Dr. Carter G. Woodson said, we are the only people that have been trained to go to the back door, cut a hole in the house, and build the back door, and then sit there and wait to go in. That was very, very profound. You go to the back of the house that you build the back door to enter, and then be told to wait to enter the back door of your own house.
That's cold. That's cold. That's cold. But don't nobody. But how can we get the people to start seeing it like that? You only have a few that really see it.
Because people are happy to sit at the table. This is what integration gave us. Yeah, I know I'm going to piss off some people, and I really don't care. Y'all followed somebody that led us into a burning building, and when he saw that, it was too late. Because as being part of the Big Six and going to sit at the White House with him and the other 5 men that he sat at the White House with. I'm not saying he didn't make contribution to something, but the contribution that cut our head off was being able to say we could sit at a table with everybody and everybody's going to be fine when you weren't part of the fucking table in the first place. So we sit there and we believe. So we got to make a look at that. And Dr. Harold Cruz talks about that in Crisis of Negro Intellectual. He said, look, That was a wrong ass strategy. He wrote that in 1967. Right before, and it was published in 67 before King. He says King's strategy was wrong because you followed Mahatma Gandhi with 1 billion people behind him, and you ain't got 1 billion people behind you. And you were trying, and they were literally in India walk the British, who are just a little over 100,000, up the landmass into the ocean. And number 2, Gandhi didn't like black folks. And number 3, one of his own persons killed him, assassinated him.
Oh, well, you know they can get your own to get you now.
Right, and that's exactly what Malcolm said. They'll get a black man to kill a black man just to say it was another black man.
And I'll give you a prime example, family, before we close out. Now, I ain't watch it. I ain't watched the P. Diddy and what 50 Cent and Netflix did. But that was diabolical.
Right.
That Netflix used that man to go at that man. That had nothing, and to me, that was a Netflix. This is once again when you see him, because what they was describing in that had nothing to do with what he was on trial for.
Right.
The allegations even got some of his people coming out, Biggie people, saying that ain't true. But see, this is the stuff that we use because they can do this. They can throw, you know what I'm saying? When a person can throw you 30, 40 million.
That's the propaganda.
Yeah, I can't. Now, ain't nothing wrong with it, B. Marie. I just said I couldn't because I see the play that they did. It was bad that they used him, that he went and did it because what? Because P. Diddy had your baby mama was liking him.
Right.
That's where we at.
Right. Yeah, but that's the low level. That's the low level conscience that they put us at, and we like to be at.
Yeah.
It's like watching some of these shows. How has he become whatever, and then now he's making a show Power or whatever, and people love that bullshit. Stop living in a goddamn fantasy world.
Selling drugs and killing. This is the stuff that they marketing to our community.
Right.
This is what they want to market to us. Like it's just death and destruction.
That's
drugs.
Right.
So why you wondering why Pookie and Ray Ray them having shootouts around here?
And
because look what you showing.
And can't read. And can't read.
Because Netflix paid them for it. Netflix dropped that money. 50 don't really run that at Stars over there. He's a worker.
Right.
We get caught up because some Mike Epps said they give us money to shit on our own people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They give us money to show out on our own people.
Yep. And I hope Mike Epps, when he said what he said, don't cut his throat.
Yeah.
Because he told the truth.
Oh, you see Shannon Sharp ass in trouble now, right? Him and Ocho for the date night show. Because you know what he talked about? What community he talked about? What he was talking about was how they can use the N-word. And like the one guy, Aiden Ross, I think this Drake guy, and he was talking about how he say the N-word in his raps when he at home. And so Shannon and Ocho was like, no, how about if they went to name and every other what's in there. And that one community got pissed. So they own him right now because he didn't say nothing derogatory. He said, why is it so easy for everybody to say the N-word? He said, why won't you go talk about, you go rap about this and that, in so many words. Won't you say these about these other people? But you can't do it. So now they own him because what he was giving a conversation.
As an example.
Yeah, an example, and now they own him.
So there always going to be some sort of high-tech lynching.
That's what I was trying. High-tech lynching.
Okay. And they already got him for one thing based upon some bullshit. It's like they did Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care what the hell nobody say. Y'all sit up there and believe it with no evidence, and y'all crazy as fuck.
But I got one for you better.
Go ahead.
Why they ain't believing none of the people what Trump them did?
Oh, oops.
Oh, well, but the Epstein, they don't want to listen to them women. But they wanted to listen to the women on Bill Cosby and them, right?
But you still, how do you explain to me that you have no physical evidence that this happened? And it was 30-something years ago, if it did happen, but you didn't have no outcry about nothing until just recently when he wanted to make some financial moves to try and buy a major network. Then all of a sudden this comes up. And then everybody turned their coat and dropped and believed that it happened. It might have happened.
Yeah, and you
But
right,
you
Concrete.
participated in it willingly because you went and knocked on his door.
Do we see these people trying to get pregnant by these NBA players, NFL players, rich people? Then we just see Russell Simmons' daughter was with a billionaire. He was 80-something years old. She 20-something.
Right. And there's a football player, that just had a baby by his sister that's 38 or 40 some years old.
Yeah,
He's like 21,
Michelle.
22. Okay. But and at the end of the day, it is what it is. Is it her fault? No. He liked her.
You like what you like.
You like what you like. But how in the hell do you have absolutely no evidence that you're going to crucify Bill Cosby in his late 70s, early 80s about something that you claim he did in the 60s when all you motherfuckers was doing it?
And they don't want to bring it up on Trump. They like, no, they don't believe them.
You Hefner.
But they don't believe them. But they want to listen to them women when they came.
But you want to sit up there and believe these women who have absolutely no evidence. Everybody, their stories are corroborated.
Yeah, like them women's stories then corroborated.
Right. Their stories corroborated, so therefore he must have done it. But where's your physical evidence? Where's your physical evidence that he did these things? Where's the bottles? And at the same time, we ain't heard a damn thing from his wife.
Yeah.
Because she would have had to have been there or she participated.
They're not going to bring them up.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to bring them up.
I don't give a damn whether people like the fact that I said what I said about Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
His position was this. When he did that piece in 1968, Andy Rooney of 60 Minutes wrote it. He repeated it when he was talking about history and black history.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first black man to have a major role on television in I Spy.
Mm-hmm.
He did Gullah Gullah Island for BET. Him and Dr. Alvin Poussaint was the one that did the Dow test for the young black children. He did the Cosby Show comedy. He did comedy albums that were clean, even though he still had the most albums out there. He advocated for education, and all you whole ass motherfuckers threw him under the bus because of some bullshit that nobody can prove. But we can prove that Emmett Till died because a woman said so. We can prove that Tulsa no longer exists because a woman said that they did this. We can prove that Oscarville no longer exists and is underwater under Lake Lanier because a woman said that somebody did something and they could never prove it. But just by hearsay, they murdered 2 men and then flooded the whole town. And their bodies are still there. And the buildings are still there. We can prove all of this stuff. We can prove the number of people that died over absolutely nothing but wanting a better life for themselves, because of the 5,000 known victims of lynchings, over 4,000 of them were business owners and those getting more education for their family. But yet we still don't sit around there and know shit.
Facts. And I'm finna start reading that book tonight. If I can talk about it, Hood Feminism.
Yeah, we on there on Tuesday. Well, okay.
I'm just gonna read it tonight because we're gonna talk about it.
Well, I'm with you.
We're gonna get on it. Yeah, Tuesday. I'm gonna start reading it tonight after I do Just a Thought. Y'all tune in tonight. I'm thinking Just a Thought will be on at 7:00.
All right.
As you can see, Yogi G is in the chat.
What's up, Yogi? What's going on?
In the chat. You got any other thing you want to say, brother, before we get out of here?
Go ahead on and study, man. We have to stop this bullshit. Okay, and Dr. Harold Cruz, Dr. Amos Wilson, you got to take your time. You got to take your time. But their analysis of things, Dr. Harold Cruz' book, The Crisis of the Negro Intellectual.
The Crisis.
Right.
Of the Negro Intellectual.
Right. And he wrote that in 1967. And then he wrote another book shortly after that called Plural But Unequal, which was talking about politics in 1968 or 69.
Plural But Unequal. Okay. Check that out.
And the other book is Blueprint for Black Power by Dr. Amos Wilson. And then he's got several other books that I'm going to order to talk about child psychology. But Dr. Harold Cruz, because I'm being dragged into this arena, kicking and screaming, but that's okay. Good. That's the book right there. The Development of the Black Child by Dr. Amos Wilson. Excellent. Thank you very much, B. Marie. I want to make sure all of the chambers are clean. All the 36 chambers of Shaolin got to be clean.
Facts. Facts. Why y'all slipping on it?
See,
all 36 chambers.
36 chambers of Shaolin got to be clean.
In case y'all don't know about that.
Got the Wu-Tang.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I got to get our stuff ready for I don't know. I'm thinking about making Conspiracy Tuesday just for Tuesday. I'm gonna do a members only, so I'm gonna take it off. We ain't gonna be in both places. We're gonna be in one. I think I'm gonna do a members only, and then I'm gonna bring it maybe 2 weeks later. We'll bring it back and just for the public can see it. Because I do want to get off into some things.
Absolutely, B. Marie. Okay.
Almost done. Hey, B. Marie, I'm starting. Yogi G, I'm starting tonight. I got it when me and brother Elliott was yesterday. Like we was out yesterday. We went down there to
got to hang out a little bit.
Yeah, we was at the library yesterday. So we gonna be popping up at a couple more of these things.
Yeah, we have to. And B. Marie, you got to make sure we stay on point.
Oh, say just call. I got you. I got you, Trevor. I'm gonna do that. Any last words before we get out of here, brother?
Study, family, study. If you have children around you, make sure that they know they basic stuff and don't kill it. You got to kill and drill it, right? Because I'm telling you, I teach math and science, and it's sad that I have 4th, 5th, and 6th graders who don't know their multiplication facts. So the next 2 weeks of school before we get out on Christmas break, they're going to get killed and drilled, all right? I love y'all, family. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning for your Black Watch and your morning cup of bro. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace.